James Burns here from Black Ops. James is Frank Woods in Black Ops.
Welcome back. It's time to announce the character of the year. Yeah. All right, and the winner is Sergeant Woods, Call of Duty Black Ops.
Looks don't count for shit in the jungle. It's nah, baby.
It's you! Yes! Yes! Frank Woods! Yeah! Call of Duty Black Ops!
I'm here with Dave Anthony, director of Black Ops, and we are here at House of Moves because we are going into the mocap room to do something a little special with Frank Woods. Can you tell me how he was able to steal the spotlight and the VGA nomination when he's not even a playable character?
The actor James Burns, if you knew this guy and if you meet him, you will instantly know the answer to this. James is such a charismatic guy, and he just is this character.
So you are Sergeant Frank Woods in Call of Duty Black Ops.
You think I'm fucking nuts? This guy.
All right. Hello. Happy Sunday morning, everybody. Who's here today? Let me take a look. Teddy Bush. How you doing, kid? Narks, my favorite Narks. Tyler Kemp is here. Glad to see it. Rebellious Cat. M. McQueen. Our young lady has grown up. Our young niece has grown up. Got a big surprise for you today, everybody. Let's see. Sledge and this hammer. How you doing, man? Ghost Croatia. Good to hear from you. Toby. MPMN Wolf. Is it you, Wolfie? I don't know. Well, Toby 1439. Yeah, it's today's a quickie. I'm just checking in with you guys because I need a break. I was just talking to my guest. Tino Alley, thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate that. I love the coffee. Been homebound for about a week and a half now, so I could use it. My buddy Derek sent me some chicken soup. Fucking needed it, man. I'm not doing anything today, so it's the first day I felt I can actually carry on a conversation. I can talk. Yeah. G.I. Jane, barely had a huge surgery on Monday, and I'm in recovery right now, and it's fucking brutal, man. Today's the first day I feel I can actually shit. Can you guys not hear me? Hang on, let me see something. Dar says they can't hear me. Hang on. Test 1, 2. Can you guys? Hey, Extended, can you guys hear me? Because someone said you can hear me. Okay, it's just Darwin. Oops, I gave it away. All right. So without further ado, to help share the load of this happy day here is my longtime dear friend. You know him as the master of disaster, the blaster of all pavilions, the one, the only, the magnificent Darwin effin' Necessian.
Hey man, I can't hear you.
Everyone else can hear me. Here,
I can't hear what you're saying.
Can
you hear me?
Yeah, hang on.
I'll go off and then come back.
Do that. Hang on. We're gonna get it. Martin Walker, how you doing? Are you new? Are you a new guy here? Hey, G.I. Jane. Yeah, I had a tooth fracture. and I got a really bad infection over here. It's better now, and it just fucking ripped through my whole head. It's like 2 weeks ago. It's been brutal, just fucking brutal. So they had to cut it out Monday, and so I'm just coming back. I'm just coming back to life a little bit, but it's been fucking brutal. Yeah. And my buddy Derek's in town, and so he sent me over this huge bowl of chicken wonton soup, and just massive bowl. I've been living off of that. Yeah. Let's see if I can get Darwin back here. You are a photographer for a band. I love that. I love that you're doing that. Let me see if I can get invite guest. All right, Darwin, I'm sending you in. Are you here? Hang on. All right. Is that better?
That's better. I can hear you.
All right, man. There you go. Nightmare Magna Foxy. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. So, dude, your studio looks great. I like the red afterglow you have.
Oh, yeah. Kind of have a Darth Vader thing going on here.
Yeah, little Darth Vader. It's a little, little bit in the basement. So, how you been? How's work going? Let me get my glasses on here. There we go.
Everything's good, man. Just
right.
same old. Just been shooting guns and writing articles about them and covering sort of Second Amendment politics and all that fun stuff that I do every day. Playing with the dogs, of course, and Becky. Got to play with Becky.
Becky has to be played with. Yes, one must play with the Becky because the Beckla, how the Beckla gets. If anybody knows how the Beckla gets.
Hey, and thanks to the miracles of modern medicine, we've actually, and when I say we, I mean me and Becky, we've actually been hanging out with my mom a little bit and like going out with her and things that you could never do with her prior because she was just so awful to hang out with. Like now she's like really pleasant. So thank you, modern medicine.
Well, what is the medical thing that changed it?
Well, I don't know the actual name of it, but like, I was taking her to her doctor's appointments and, doing all that stuff with her. And, they were saying, hey, you're in pretty good health. And, we got into conversations about like, sort of her behavior around people. And the doctor prescribed her some type of like anxiety medicine. And apparently her intent, when you disrupt her internal anxiety, it results in her being a much more pleasant person outwardly. So, so that's all good stuff.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. I'll have a few years of hanging out with my mom and enjoying it after what, like, how old am I now? I can't even remember. Like 47. I think I'm 48.
Are you 48?
Yeah. So I forgot that we're live streaming. I normally don't call myself out on age, but oops.
Well, yeah, you gotta be careful in this day and age,
Yeah. Especially with this crowd, I think we got some people who will make me feel real old. What's going on? So what's going on, everybody? Team me up. Make me say something stupid.
Teddy, you're 40 this month? Wow. It's just flying by, isn't it, for everybody? It's just fucking flying right by.
It is, especially, I don't know, like all the turmoil and everything seems to make things like, I don't know. I don't know whether they make things go by slower or faster for other people, but sort of just makes it all one big blur to me. Here, it's a really good AR-15. Sorry, I'm reading comments as we go.
Good. Take as much time as you want because I'm just checking in today. This is not. I don't have a lot of juice, so I'm gonna lay low. And,
we don't have an agenda today.
No, I'm just hanging out.
I like the long hair.
Oh yeah, I haven't. It hasn't been washed or combed in almost 18, in almost 11 days. 11 days.
11 days.
Huh? Oh, dude, I've been a mess, man. Like I would like 2 days. I got the surgery on Monday. The infection. I went to see the doctor on Tuesday before that because it was really bad. So I've been like this for about 2.5 weeks. It's been brutal, fucking brutal, man. Because what happened was, this tooth had a root canal, and for some reason I don't know how I did it. The tooth snapped in half at the root, so it's been, and so it just kind of my whole face got infected, and then it got and they thinks I couldn't talk, and so I went to see the dentist, and he says that you need to have that taken care of. So they got me in right away, but because my genius, I figured, well, I would just wait till after the show on Saturday, and by the time I got to Saturday, I was just it was brutal. So when I went in, they had to went and clean out the mess. But what's cool is that they gave me they're using stem cells for this.
Stem cell. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of
really expensive. It was.
Yeah.
My insurance doesn't cover any of it, but that's because it's California.
I have a bunch of friends who actually go down to Mexico. Like they're like former MMA fighters and shit like that. They go to there's this one very famous clinic in Mexico where they do stem cells, and it's still expensive, but apparently it's much less expensive than doing it in the US. And a lot, like every single one of them are having like tremendous results. But I wanted to say, like, the one thing I don't like about you, Jim, is that you can go through all this stuff and, you should look like hammered shit. You haven't washed your hair, you're scruffy, and you're still better looking than all of us. What the fuck?
Well,
that's not fair.
But remember, you get me at my best. You only see the peak you don't see the valleys, man. You're just seeing the peaks.
Yeah, come on, man. You've always been like this since I've known you.
It got pretty bad. Hey, Nemesis, what's he doing?
Here I am trying to get like 8 hours of sleep and eat healthy and live as healthy a life as possible. And here you are, like still looking better than 99% of us. Fuck you.
Goddamn.
Hey, thanks, Zatanya. I appreciate it.
Other than that,
yeah, look at that, Narksy. I'd kill to look as good as Burnsy when I hit my 60s. See that,
dude? Well, put it this way: 60s. I am closer to 70 than I am to 60. So let that sink in.
Yeah, we're getting up there. But anyhow, all right, let's change the subject off our age. Man, actually before we do that, how old were you when we first met?
How old was I when we first met?
Yeah, because I'm trying to use that to figure out how old I was. I think that was a fairly young man when we first met.
I've aged you. I think 2008.
2008. And now it's 2000. Holy shit! Yeah, I was a relatively young man when we first met.
When I was a young man. Yeah.
Do you remember? Like we've probably talked about that like several times, but I remember we sat down to eat at what was it called back then?
Oh, Cafe Med.
Cafe Med, like right across Sunset Boulevard from Le Petit Four, and we were supposed to talk about me managing you, and then within like the first 2 sentences, we found out that we were both hockey players. And we spent like 3 hours talking about hockey and nothing else. And then your girlfriend at the time came by the restaurant. Am I remembering this correctly? And she's like, "What are you doing? You had this meeting and you've been gone for like 3 hours." And you're like, "Dude, Darwin's a hockey player." And her reaction was like, "Oh, yeah, okay, I get it." And then when we were done, we still never talked about business. And you got up and you're like, yeah, you're hired. Just on a hockey conversation.
Yeah. Well, what else? What else is there?
That was fucking awesome. And here we are this many years later, man. That's awesome.
So
hey, someone wants to know if you remember Lake Dead.
Who says that?
Oh crap, where was it? It was in the comments. Asked if you remember Lake Dead. I remember Lake Dead.
Oh yeah. Well,
didn't you play that sheriff in Lake Dead?
Shut up. Don't go there. Don't do
What?
it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I don't actually remember why you're telling me not to do it. Was it bad?
Yeah, it's awful.
Oh.
No, we're not going to discuss it. We're not going to discuss it.
So you know what's funny though is like if a movie was bad, a lot of times like I don't remember because I dealt a lot with like the clips of you from the movie, and the clips of you doing your job were actually good. So it's hard for me to remember whether a project as a whole wasn't as that good because I just
next time we're in private, just remind me to tell you because this is you're gonna gag. You're gonna be like, oh, I forgot about that. So
the booby thing wasn't Lake Dead, was it? No, the booby thing was a vampire movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is so much worse. It's so much worse than that. It might be the most terrifying moment of any movie ever.
Oh, it was beautiful. Someone wants to know, so here's the thing about me getting new guns. I get new guns like several times a week. Now I don't buy them. Manufacturers give them to me because I review them and write about them and stuff like that. So did I get a new gun? Perpetually. Yes. That's an ongoing thing. And I try to, use them, keep the ones I really, really love and sell others. Sometimes I sell ones that I love or else it's going to get way too cluttered in my little house. So there's a couple new ones on the wall behind me. They're kind of all over this. This is my office, studio, writing room. Although most of the time I write in the living room, sitting on the couch with my laptop while my 3 wiener dogs try to essentially distract me, knock the computer off my lap, and lick my face and my head. That's.
Is everything on that wall suppressed?
Yes. Yeah. Everything is suppressed. Everything on the other walls is suppressed too. What's
the reason for that? What's the rationale for that?
Well, okay, like for normal people, the rationale is that it's really cool. It makes the shooting experience a lot better as far as it being less noisy. The suppressors take some of the recoil and muzzle flip out of the gun, so that makes it generally a lot nicer experience. But the other thing, is the main thing is it protects your hearing. Now, there's a lot of guns that you should not, like, even if it's suppressed, you should still wear your hearing protection. Because like guns like the AR-15 that shoot 5.56, 5.56 is a particularly loud round, and when you suppress it, it's still pretty loud. You should still wear your ear protection. But over many, many years of shooting, even with ear protection, in California, where you couldn't have suppressors, and trust me, I actively talk to attorneys to find someone who's willing to sue that piece of shit state. Even with hearing protection, I've put millions of rounds down range over the years. I have tinnitus, so both of my ears ring 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I could be in the quietest, most remote place in the world, and it would be torture for me because I wouldn't be able to hear that silence. All I hear is beep.
I got there right now. I fucking hate it.
Oh, dude, what do you mean right now? Like it goes away for you?
No, I have it. I have a constant ringing because at the antibiotic stuff. It's like I can barely hear anything.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it sucks. So protecting your hearing is, that's pretty important, and so that's why that's my main, reason why I suppress everything. And sometimes, like when I shoot 50 cals, like I've got one that I got a review coming up. I'll get a suppressor on the 50 cal, and then I'll wear inner earplugs, and then I'll wear outer hearing protection as well, just to like absolutely protect it. Hey, thanks, Toby. I appreciate it, man. It sucks. It's tinnitus is a really, really bad thing. Whoever comes up with a cure for it is going to be a gazillionaire if that ever happens. Yeah. So yeah, I'm like your poster boy for. In fact, if you read my articles, like typically, like when I get to the part about like what suppressor I chose for a gun and this and that, there's always like a little section of me bitching about my tinnitus. So it's my tinnitus has become sort of a character in my articles. Do I play video games? No, I don't own a video game console. When I was younger, I played some video games, but like when I was really young, I'm talking, oh my God, I'm about to age myself again. Fuck. Like when the original NES came out, okay, you guys probably don't even know what that is. Like where you had like those plastic cartridges, and you could get the gold one that was like the Legend of Zelda, like the original Legend of Zelda. Like I played video games back then. I was like, really, really young. Then like sort of in my later years, I would play like hockey video games or like, Madden football video games, but I never got into like, the big, the shooters and, like Call of Duty. I think I may have played Call of Duty like once or twice in my life, and I sucked at it. I was really, really bad. Jim used to be really bad, but apparently he's gotten better.
Well, I'm just going on right now. I'm cleaning out the studio. I'm kind of making plans to.
Yeah. So you've gotten better at Call of Duty?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't played in a year.
Okay.
So now I'm just like I had to order, and I found my old PS4. I had it stored up with my recording gear. So I just went online. So I had to order a new controller because my old controller didn't work. So I think I'm on. So
yeah,
I may play a little bit today. I could use it. I need to sit in this veg for another week. I think I've got a Comic-Con in Anaheim on the starting on the 27th. So I need to get ready. What are you laughing about?
Zatanya said balls deep again. She knows it turns me on, and
it do.
Oh man, I remember when we used to go to Call of Duty events, and it would be like people would always want to play Call of Duty with you, and like you were really humble about it, and you're like, listen, I'll play with anyone, but like if you're expecting to, what is that you're drinking?
It's vodka, of course.
Is it vodka, or did you put water in there?
How well do you know me?
But we never really drank vodka.
I haven't drank since I've been with you.
Really? Becky and I, we were on the way home from we tried to go to a strawberry festival yesterday with my mom, and like we picked her up, and by the time we picked my mom up in like Wheeling, West Virginia, we got hit with a huge storm. Like people were pulling over because the rain was falling so rapidly that their wipers couldn't keep their visibility. I just drove straight through that shit because I do that kind of thing. But we get to the festival, and it's outdoors, and like the wind had blown over all the things, so we didn't get to go to the festival, and that kind of sucked. But anyway, the whole point is, so we go out to lunch, we drop my mom off, and we're heading home, and we do something really rare. I look at Becky in the car, and I'm like, do you want alcohol? And she's like, yeah, let's get trashed this weekend. So, of course, I came home and I'm such a lightweight. I drank like 2 foofy like girl drinks and passed out on the couch immediately. So I'm going to probably do the same thing again today.
Dude, I really haven't had a good shit face in a long time. It's the company you keep, you know?
Yeah. It's my fault.
If you're not with people, and it's been like it's been such a solo trip for the last bunch of months that I'm not around people who drink. I'm not around people at all. You know.
Oh, that's good. That's a good thing.
Between being in Oregon on the movie and working on the show, it's like I don't leave the house much, man. So I get sick and so fucked up.
Well, you know how I feel about isolationism. I'm a big fan, right? Like I'm a huge fan.
I'm sitting here and I'm really, I visualize things, right, and I kind of make a plan. So take care of the small things, and big things take care of themselves. But I'm looking at a life plan. I'm not crazy, but I have no reason to stay in Los Angeles, right? I have no reason to be in California, really. And I'm like, well, what am I doing here? The business is not, it's dried up for me, and I'm basically retired. Musically, I can do that almost anywhere. So what am I doing here? I'm going back east for like 6 weeks, going to Derby's house.
But you've been talking like this for a couple years now.
Yeah. Well,
I keep telling you, get the fuck out of there.
Yeah. Yeah, but where am I going to go? What am I going to do?
Anywhere you want. You just
but I got to have a plan. I'm not like you. I need to have a plan. I need to know where I'm doing.
No.
Yeah. Well, I do.
Plans
That's me.
Ruin everything.
Yeah, well, I lived like that for too many years. Like, I want to know what I'm doing next, and I want to be set up for it. And plus, I already sold off. I only have I have 2 guitars left. I sold off all my guitars.
Why don't you go nomad, like Jack Reacher style? Just like fuck it, don't even go to a particular place.
I was thinking about getting an RV.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Get an RV. But an RV is something you have to take care of. Like
or
if you just
get like a. Have you ever been to Tom's Airstream?
Yeah, I like Airstreams.
I may get something like that. Like they're like $100,000,
Shit, it's $100,000 though. Fuck.
Well, yeah, I spend that much anyway, so why not?
Okay, all right. Yeah, just go nomad like Jack Reacher style. Go anywhere you want. Stay out of the commie states.
I don't know. I would like to have some type of destinodial plan. We'll see. But I notice I am just anything that. You see my closet, dude? I have like no clothes left. I have like 3 linen shirts, 2 sport coats, and 3. I don't care. It's all going away.
Right. You want to travel light.
I sold off my TV. I got rid of 2 of my guitars. I'm just getting rid of it. I'm just getting rid of everything. Just getting rid of it all.
Yeah. I love doing a little spring cleaning. Actually, do you remember during my divorce, before I actually had an apartment and I was going from like motel room to motel room every night for months on end? Like I had like a pair of jeans and like 2 shirts. And every night I would get in the shower and I would take a shower and I'd bring my clothes in there and wash them in the shower and then hang them up to dry so I could wear them the next morning. It seems like really, really sad, but it was actually all right. I had no problem with it. I was traveling light and it was pretty fun. Fuck my ex-wife, piece of shit. Anyway, did I say that out loud?
I think I might have saw her.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
At Trader Joe's.
In Glendale?
Yeah.
Or Burbank?
The one right near my house. Yeah. I think.
All right. Did she recognize you? She see you?
Well, she's never seen me with white hair.
Ah, okay. All right.
Or long hair. So.
Oh, Zatanya's gonna go get her nails done. You have a great day too, Zatanya. Go balls deep. I had to.
Go nail deep. Go nails deep.
Yeah, seriously. So anyway, why is no one teeing me up to say something bad? Is that not a thing anymore?
This is the adult crew. It's not a big show tonight. It's only 28 people so watching. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't been on. This is my second show since January. I think I haven't done many of these. So
yeah, you've been doing a lot of shit on the road.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people are just, and this is short notice. I just put this out this morning. Short notice.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I know you've been on the road doing a lot of stuff, keeping busy. It's not like you've been sitting at home not live streaming. You've been moving around a lot, which is good. I think that's fun. So if you're going to pick a destination, what's your most likely destination?
I need water, fresh water. I'm not a big seaside guy. I need water, and I would like mountains.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did I ever try Beero, a beer with no alcohol? No. Beer doesn't taste like. I mean, there's plenty of beers I like to drink, but like I'd rather drink like pineapple juice. It tastes better, right? So if I'm gonna drink beer, I'm gonna get drunk. I don't do beer without alcohol. But like I'll be honest, like we went to the store to buy beer yesterday, and Becky bought herself like Pacifico, and I'm like, no, I'm not drinking that shit. And she's like, no, don't worry, I got you beers, and I got you drinks, and like she starts pulling like different 6-packs out of bags, and it's like raspberry something foofy drink, and green apple foofy drink, and some mixed berry foofy drink, and like I drink that stuff. It tastes really good. Hey Weston, how you doing, man? Wait, Lark says, "Damn, Darwin missed it. What did I miss?"
Somebody threw a bunch of lines out for you. The Snakes on a Plane and young stud, and
Oh, Youngblood? Fuck yeah, that's a great hockey movie. They're making it. Did they make the new one?
God, I hope not.
I think they did. Did they make it? I forget what they did, but I know they made that hockey show gay. I think they made the new Youngblood black. Yeah, they made it. It's not about him necessarily being a rookie. It's about him being a black hockey player. I'm like, we don't have that shit in hockey. We don't give a fuck. We just like to play hockey. But everything's got to be politicized, and it's just bullshit, man. You hear German beers. German beers are good. Leaving out some of the more aggressive and violent things that Germans have done throughout history, they tend to make things really well, from like Birkenstocks to dogs to guns.
Birkenstocks are Dutch.
Oh, okay, fine. Not Birkenstocks, but definitely they make great guns. They make great cameras. They great dogs. And I'm not just talking about the German Shepherd. I'm talking about my little mini dachshunds. Yeah, they're great attention to detail people. I guess, when they're trying to murder a race of people too, they have great attention to detail. It's not such a good thing. But anyway, there are other stuff I really enjoy, leaving out, genocide. Oh God.
It's just...
Yeah, genocide just rubs me the wrong way. Call me crazy. Oh God, waiting for Hollywood to make a black Tarzan. There's so much I could say about that, but I won't. Like, it's one of those rare moments where I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to touch that.
I never knew my real ladder.
Oh God, my step ladder. Okay, that's actually pretty good. That's a dad joke. Yeah, I don't know about German food, like German cuisine. Do you know German food very much, Jim?
Yes, actually, I'm. Let's see. The brats and the German meats are wonderful.
The brats. I see. I was gonna say, like, I can't think of anything but brats. Yeah, brats are great.
And a lot of German potato dishes are nice.
Mmm.
That
Sure.
had that.
Wait.
Yeah.
Toby said, besides the guns, I also like the werewolf history in German. What the fuck? What is the werewolf history in Germany?
Isn't that where the werewolf came from?
Is the werewolf a real thing? Is that? I mean, are there real werewolves?
I don't know if they're real, but I think the mythology comes from the Germanic tribes.
Oh, okay. We do have lores here. Oh, that's right. Teddy's from Germany. That's right. So yeah, Teddy, you know, like Germans typically very detail oriented, and that's why like a lot of the products they make are absolutely fantastic. Some say they're real. Oh, that's interesting. So Toby hears that Germany is making its military stronger to fight Russia. Well, you know, that's interesting. I've always said that like the two most nationalistic countries, as far as major countries on the planet, are the United States and Russia. And, you know, globalists who are the real people sort of stoking the fires and causing all the problems in the world today via their, you know, proxies, whether it be like, I don't know, the transgender community or whatever community they decide to take over and brainwash to do their bidding, right? Um, so, so what they really want, you know, globalism, like true globalism can't exist unless you get everyone on board. But you take nationalistic countries like you know, like the United States and Russia, and it's never going to fucking happen. So yeah, I think there's, you know, a lot of big movement to, you know, sort of take down Russia. You know, a lot of the European countries want to see that happen, and it's mainly because of that globalist agenda. And then of course us here in the United States, we're definitely next. So yeah, there's probably some truth to that. Werewolves originally came from ancient Greece, unless you want to include Anubis from Egypt. Oh, okay. Now we're getting, okay. Now it's a serious history lesson. Teddy Bush says, I've never been outside the U.S. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's not Teddy Bush. Nightmare. I can't say that. Okay. What does that say?
Nightmare Magma Foxy. Just call him Foxy.
Okay. It's really cool. And they're, you know, I've been outside the U.S. quite a bit. Been to European countries a lot. It's fun. I mean, some of those countries aren't really doing so well anymore. And I'll just go ahead and say it. It's because of their immigration policies, which many of them are now regretting. But it is what it is. France used to be fun to visit. I wouldn't go anymore. Italy probably still fun. Greece, especially the Greek islands, that's the best. Oh, dude. Okay. So now, Toby, even more concerning to me than werewolves now is like, how do you get this like deep background on werewolves? Or are you like a werewolf aficionado? Because, you know, like you seem to know a lot more about like, yeah. I want to know. I want to know about that.
How do you know so much about werewolves?
Yeah. Rebellious cat. French here, we're cooked. I know, brother. I know. And you know what? It sucks because France is like, you know, I know it's like cool to trash France, but like I'm not going to do that. France is a neat place, man. Like I spent some time in Versailles, you know, at the palace. Took a lot of cool photos there, photos that have been published in a lot of places. Spent a lot of time in Paris on Champs-Élysées. Obviously saw all the, you know, the big sights to see. the Louvre, everything like that. France is a really, really cool place. And, contrary to, people think that when you're American, you go there and like the French are rude to you. I'm not going to say they're lying, but I'm going to say I didn't experience that in France. I had like one cop who was like had a little bit of a shitty attitude with me, but his partner was like kind of telling him to back the fuck off, and he was really cool. And then like everyone else I met when I was in France was just awesome. So, and very helpful. So I really enjoyed it there. I'm sad that it's in the state that it is. Oh, it's Twilight. Hey, speaking of Twilight, although this doesn't have much to do with Twilight. Okay, I'll talk about something kind of controversial but fun. So they're making a movie with Robert Pattinson. Okay, Robert Pattinson plays Chris Hansen. You know Chris Hansen from the to Catch a Predator. You ever seen those? To Catch a Predator?
I haven't. No.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah, they go out and they catch bad guys.
Yeah,
right?
they catch these bad guys who are trying to meet children like online and solicit them for sex. Anyway, and they bust all these pedophiles. Like, and this has been, and the show is now called something else. But Chris Hansen's been doing this like I think since I was a kid. So like I don't know how many of these sickos he's busted. Anyway, they're doing a movie about his life, and Robert Pattinson plays Chris Hansen, and like I've got to see it because we still watch his current show, and he's still out there doing God's work, man. It's pretty crazy, man. Teddy says it's really bad over here. If I could leave Germany, I would. I would move to Sweden because they're now starting to kick out the Americans. Yeah, Sweden's caught on. They're like, you know what, this isn't working out. But like also in the UK, like like if you say something offensive, if you say something not even offensive, if you say something that happens to offend someone in the UK, you can be arrested. Jim, have you seen that?
I don't. Just don't get me started on the whole thing happened to that kid who got stabbed to death.
Oh, and that guy who was in. It's funny. I was talking to Becky about that, and do you remember George Zimmerman?
Yep.
So, yeah, he was like, trying to be like the HOA police, and he was kind of like following and like looking around, but then he got attacked by, I forget the kid's name, but he got attacked by this black kid, and the kid was like bashing his head into the ground, and like he had all these lacerations, on his head from his head hitting like the concrete, and then he finally pulls a gun out and shoots the kid, and like the black community is all like, "That's not self-defense." And then you have this like Carmelo Anthony kid, who, like the threshold was just not even in the same universe. And he stabs this white kid to death. And they're like, no, that's self-defense. He's okay to do that. I'm like, fuck you. Jim, you seem kind of checked out.
No, I'm just listening. I'm telling, like I said, I am jacked on painkillers and antibiotics. So this is the energy level I function at right now. This is what I'm letting you just ramble because, like, hey man, I'm just dumping the puck right now. You're chasing.
Oh, okay, all right, that's cool with me. Yeah, Robert Pattinson is actually a pretty good actor. However, like I really object to him as Batman. That was like not okay with me. It wasn't good. It was, to his.
What about they have a girl playing? What's her name? Playing Troy there. What's his name?
Oh,
the girl.
They have Juno, right?
Yeah, they got that. She's not. They got her playing a great
chick from Juno.
warrior.
I forget her name. Yeah, but like she was a chick from Juno, and then she decided
Ellen something. Ellen.
Yeah, Ellen DeGenerate. No,
not degenerate.
no, that was
Ellen
true.
Page. Ellen Page is
Page.
now playing a Greek warrior, and she's like,
She's
she weighs 90 pounds. It's like, what the fuck, really?
No, but like, it's ridiculous for like on so many levels. She's playing Achilles, right?
Yeah, playing Achilles.
So Achilles, who was played by Brad Pitt, which okay, but like there was no one else in Hollywood. You picked a woman masquerading as a man to play like a Greek warrior. Like, tell me you have a bad script and you need publicity without telling me you have a bad script and you need publicity. Plus, who's making this film? It's a pretty big filmmaker too. I can't remember who it is.
Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, so it's like you shouldn't need to pull that type of fucking stunt. But like, what the ever loving fuck? Like, no, just no. I'm not going to see it. That's how I battle these things. I just don't give them the money. And if I'm really curious, it's torrent time, baby. I shouldn't admit that.
Yeah, it's like there's no way to pin it together as a contrivance or some type of master plan. I'm like, if you're trying to destroy masculinity, you got to destroy the story of our Greek ancestors. Like, these were fucking warriors. Achilles was a warrior. He wasn't some frail. He's a guy who carried a sword. So it's like if you're destroying that mythos, right? If you're trying to destroy, you're trying to destroy a masculine identity. Say, well, it's like that's is it on purpose? And like, why would you want to do that? What are you trying to? Like, what is the mission behind? Why are you trying to have a girl play one of the greatest warriors in Greek history? Why? What is the reason for that? Why are you trying to do that? There's maybe out of all the billions of women, there's maybe a couple thousand women who know how to fight. Ronda Rousey, fucking yeah, I won't say. There's a handful of women out there who are fucking good at it, but none of them are built like that. None of them have that thing. They have to be in controlled environments, right? So, can there be great female warriors? Absolutely. Are there a lot of them? No. It's not something that women tend towards, right?
But this is not even. But remember, like, she's not even like a woman anymore, right? The answer is pretty simple to this one. It's a publicity stunt. It's just a bullshit publicity stunt. Like, how'd that go for fucking the all female Ghostbusters? Okay, how that
was just a bad movie. I don't know if I was hooked because there's some of the actors I love, like the blonde girl from I love her, but it was just, I think the script just wasn't good.
Look at this. Becky came with what I get. Zen berry foofy drink.
Don't get too twisted.
Yeah, well, she knows it doesn't take much of this to get me drunk, but yeah, love you. Thank you.
Pat is talking about the ceremonial swords carried by the Sikh. That's fucked up. These guys get to carry fucking blades. The kid that Henry Novak got killed with. And okay, I'm religious. I can do it. Or I'm a Muslim. I can shut down this traffic here because I'm a Muslim. But if you're a Christian and do it, you be dragged off. It's like there's. But you like what is the point to doing this? To have what is the point to having this two-tiered approach to running society? What's the point? What do you?
Well, you take a minority community, you convince them that they're marginalized, and then you use that to get them to act out. When they do act out, okay, the majority is going to basically rail against them. That's going to reinforce the brainwashing that they've been marginalized and make them really go, yeah, look at them. They are marginalizing us. and sort of perpetuate the original lie and cause all types of distractions that keep us from realizing that it's the government that's pitting everyone off against each other, and they're doing it so we don't realize they're the ones fucking us the most. And that's that's exactly what they're doing, and they're also using it to weaken certain institutions and certain traditions, like the Second Amendment. That's, look, it's got to come to a head sometime, and I'm sure it will. Every generation thinks that,
if this guy Spencer Pratt, he's amazing, right? He's exactly what we need. He's doing really, really well. And then all of a sudden, over the last, because we have voting for 30 days of voting here, all of a sudden, 200,000 votes come in, and not one vote is for him. Not one vote is for Spencer Pratt. That's statistically, that's like 1,000,000,000 to 1. That's almost an impossibility. But yeah. And then he's like Joe Biden had, on average, we have 60 to 65 million people vote every year on average. When Biden beat Trump last term, he had 81 million votes. Where'd that 21 million people go? What happened to that?
Not to mention all the tropes, all the votes that went to Trump, right?
It's like where's all the I'm looking at I'm trying to look at it without seeing everything is conspiracy. Like, can it be coincidental? But
they're not even trying to hide it anymore.
Yeah,
230,000 votes and 0 for Spencer Pratt. Like, they're not even trying to hide that shit anymore. Which is like, I've been writing for a long time and using the same phrase. We currently live in a government of what are you going to do about it? Like, they don't need to cover it up. They don't need to make it look real. They don't give a shit if you want to like talk conspiracy or anything like that, because at the end of the day, they're just like, we're going to do what we want, and what are you going to do about it? If you fight the government in court, they use your money, of which they have an endless supply, to fight you. They bankrupt you. If you get into any type of like criminal litigation with them, they're just going to lie, cheat, and steal until they put you in prison. Every generation thinks that like civil war doesn't apply to them, that rebellion doesn't apply to them. We've gone past that. It's a civil war is a historical fact, and we're careening towards it. I don't know when it's going to happen. Maybe in my lifetime, maybe not. But we're careening towards it. There's just no other. There's no other end to this right now.
Well, I think it's already here. It just hasn't. It hasn't, because I think the people on the right are very reticent to take up arms and start shooting at their political enemies. Because the left has no problem doing it, as we can tell. They have no problem. If you disagree with me, I will kill you, because that means, because they claim a moral superiority. So I don't see anybody. I rarely do see somebody who's right, conservative, say, I'm going to go shoot somebody because I disagree with them. Like, and I think, but that's the trigger point you're talking about. It's when you see enough people to say, you know what, we're not getting. When the right starts treating the left the way the left treats the right, that'll be the end of it.
Yeah.
And the problem is this: the government's going to come down the side of the left, because the left will get obliterated, because they're not. It's like, you look at all these people standing up throwing bottles and cans at ICE officers. Like, they're not the best and brightest. They're the fat and disenfranchised. They're the people who don't know how to get a job or don't want to get a job. They're not really built for it. And then if it does come to blows, the federal government's going to have to protect those idiots, because the guys who have skills and know how to do stuff, they're going to say it's not going to be a fair fight. And that's when it gets, that's the plan, I think, is to get the government to protect the weaklings who are creating havoc for themselves, and then that's just my fear, is that the right is going to get sucked into something they really want to be part of.
Well, and you're right. We don't want any part of it. We don't want our country to go like that. And it's just, but they're going to force it. They're going to force it. And like, look, I know the left comes out and they're violent and they do all this stuff. And like the right is like super, super reluctant to get into a shooting war. And it's true. I'm part of that right. I don't want my country going down that road. I could think of a billion other ideas, but before I think that's a good idea. However, if they're going to force it, they're going to force it. But the one thing I'm saying is, like, I'm begging, like, do not underestimate reluctance for weakness. Like, we're the ones who like literally go out there and like practice, like drawing from a holster and putting 6 shots into center mass. And then we take out our timer and be like, okay, that was, for instance, 1.65 seconds to draw from a holster and then dump 6 rounds into the chest of a target. And we look at that and we go, them's bad numbers. You need to get faster. Like that's literally like we train all the time. I'm on the range. I don't even know how often.
Yeah.
So again, like you don't want to do it. Like,
even that idea is ridiculous, because like to be drawn into when you fire a gun at somebody, everything changes. It changes the entire dynamic. You lose all recourse. It's like that's, and now it's like it's just the worst decision you can make. It's the worst decision you can make.
And we train day, we train night, we train with night vision, we train with thermal optics, drones, anti-drone technology, you name it. Like, do not start that fight. We don't want it.
Yeah.
And you may think you want it, but I'm telling you, you don't.
Well, again, that's the point, that there's the embracing mental illness that has happened over the last 15 years. Like, mental illness has become, people are fighting for mental illness to be accepted as okay. And it's like that's an issue. Like that, you see here, and like you've known a few people out here in Hollywood that it's like a mental illness. Yeah. It's a mental illness. It's like it's an inability to, number one, control your emotions or regulate emotions so you can have a conversation and maybe learn, some sympathy, or try to understand somebody who has a different life experience or point of view. But the mental illness, when they say, no, there's only one way, it's my way, and if not, you die. And that's, and unfortunately, then we have a lot of religions that kind of preach the same thing. Either you do what we, if you don't believe what we believe, then we get to enslave you, we get to kill you because you are an infidel. And that's a big problem.
Yeah.
And there's this is, who was I talking the other day? Someone's asking me if I ever ran into some type of debauchery here, like, people eating babies or blood drinkers.
Oh.
And no, I have never seen that. But I've had people tell me, I've had people who you've met and who I know and respect, who told me that they've encountered it. And I have no reason to even if half of what they say is true, it's still disturbing.
And
that is a form of mental illness. To be that, it's when everything is on a floating curve, but you gotta nail down an agreement. Okay, this is the line. Both agree this is the line. You cross this, now you're into something else. That line, if that line becomes movable, then it's just chaos. It becomes like, yes, is there an absolute zero? No. There isn't. Is 1 an absolute number? No. But for all intent and purposes, it's down to micro fractions. But you can always divide something even down to the molecular level. So yes, but we have to agree, okay, if it falls within this parameter, this unit is called a 1, and you put 2 of those together, that's a 2. We have to have an agreement, like words. We spend 1,000 years trying to trying to homogenize the English language so we could talk to each other. So the word I use means the same thing between. So if I say, this is a red apple, you'll know exactly what it is. Now, it won't be exactly, my red apple could be a little different, but it's going to be an apple shape. It's going to be red. We can communicate ideas because we've created this ability, this language between us that we all agree upon. If all of a sudden you start saying, well, no, red is actually green. Well, okay, how do I explain this? Well, the app, it complicates life to a point. So and it becomes insane when you have no grounding point. Because at some point, every crazy thought, if we're told that every thought we have is our reality, then that's why we have a street full of fucking drug addicts in LA. Because everyone believes that's the reality. And we have a mayor who wants to give them new teeth and buy them needles and buy them more drugs and replace their rotting teeth. Give them some fentanyl. Give them a Narcan, so when they overdose, Frank can hit them with the Narcan, and that's LA right now, and that's insanity. That's a form of saying that
you can't mainline delusion for that long.
People are free to stab themselves with drugs and then revive themselves with the Narcan. That's a form of insanity. You got to draw a line to that. That's irrational behavior. And it's subjective, but there's got to be a majority acceptance that having sex with a 12-year-old with an 8-year-old child, that's fucking wrong. There's no there's no way to make that right. Yeah.
And that's why I always tell people, when the whole Harvey Weinstein thing, blew up during the Me Too movement, I think back to, again, like you, I never firsthand experienced things, but I know enough people and have heard enough things to, to not be surprised when I see these reports coming out, about, the eating children and all this shit that goes on. And all I say is when I remember when they made a big thing about, and I'm not saying Harvey's an asshole. Everyone knew Harvey is an asshole. But the fact that they made such a hoopla over him, I'm like, dude, there are people doing way worse things in Hollywood than Harvey Weinstein. That was nothing, absolutely nothing. And yeah, so I'll just leave it at that. Because I know you don't want to go down that road either.
Well, it's there's understanding here too. See, now you're crossing into other ideas. When Bill Cosby would drug girls, that's bad form. But when a girl goes up there, she's got her boobs out, got her ass hanging up in the skirt, and she's going up to see Harvey to negotiate that's a negotiation. She's willing. If you're willing to trade off your sex for a part in a movie, and it doesn't turn out the way you want it to, that's you can't blame Harvey for that. Again, I don't know. I don't know a lot of what the complaints were, but if a woman, it's out here, it's a negotiation. People trade sexual favor, sexual activity for opportunity. It's the oldest exchange in the world. When that girl went up in Mike Tyson's room with what did you think is going to happen? You went there, you got a drink, or what do you think was going to happen up there? Don't put yourself in a situation where something bad can go wrong. There's got to be a level of personal responsibility we all take for everything that happens. We all have that. And with somebody when you blame somebody like Weinstein, wait a minute, unless he drugged you and dragged you up there, what do you think? You're going up there to exchange the opportunity to have sex with you for an opportunity to get a job from him. He's trading off. He's trading things off. The power she has is that she's sexually attractive. The power he has is he can offer a job. And that really is as simple as it gets. And it's really infuriating when people reduce it. Well, no, he has all the power. No, he doesn't. He only has power because you want something.
Yeah.
Power is when somebody has something you want, or you have something somebody else wants. Then you can exercise. You can manipulate them. You can power is about manipulation. And I go,
I mean, let's be honest. Women threw themselves at Harvey
all the fucking time. Like it's just, I see it even on a lower level. You know, I've been to enough parties to see like the way the girls dress. You know what they're out there for. You know, the plunging necklines. They got the form-fitting skirts. They got this body for maybe 5, 6 years. They're going to use it to get what they want. I mean, how many girls do you see out there that are flaunting their assets? That's part of the business. And so to, you know, again, I don't know everything behind it, and I'm sure he got indicted for all the right reasons. But at the same time, you know, there's got to be conversation like, okay, ladies, are you willing to give up? You know, and a lot of them are. Let's say, I don't care. If it's a tool I got, I can use it.
You know what? I think that Harvey refused some sort of contribution. I think he did something not in line with whoever the overlords are, and they just decided to use whatever they could to throw him under the bus for it, to make an example of him to the rest of the people. And
again, I don't know anybody in that circle. I've seen similar. And I know a lot of great movies came out of the Weinstein Company. A lot of great movies came out of his company. So
yeah,
you know, and a lot of people who he really gave opportunities to became very successful. So again, it's like when you look at it from the inside looking out. When you have, I mean, in my small way, I've been approached with opportunities like that. Like, no. I remember I met a Comic-Con I was at. I was up in well, I don't know doxing, but I said I had to get my handler or somebody else as a witness. I went to an interview and it looked a little sketchy because they want to interview up in my room. I said no, we'll interview down in the lobby, and I want these two people with me because you just don't know what somebody's intentions are. You got to be really. And that's being personally responsible. Not that, again, people have a fucking mental illness. It's okay. You know, whatever people are taught that they can, every thought you have is going to be reality. And if this is my reality, then you got to respect my reality. Well, no, you're not a fucking giraffe, and I'm not going to treat you like a giraffe. You know, that's not. Think it all you want, but I'm not going to join you in your insanity. You know.
And you know what? The other thing is about that is like that's creating everyone's own personal reality was a delusion that they mainlined, you know, and so for instance, take this Carmelo Anthony thing, right? This kid brought a knife to this school thing. He had it in his bag. He had his hand in his bag. He was looking for it. He was looking to do something to show he's tough. He was looking to do something. But he was looking to make it justified, to seem like he was, you know, acting in some sort of self-defense. And he was so eager that as soon as there was like a little bit of shoving, after he'd been asked to leave and refused like 15 fucking times, you know, a little bit of shoving, and he was so eager that here comes the knife immediately, and now we've got a dead kid, right? And it's kind of the same fucking thing when like that whole, you know, the term people use like, oh, my truth, there's no my truth in your
I think
there's the truth.
It's easy to sit there and, you know, kind of apply that. What's the word for that stuff? It's called when you anecdotal conversation. But if you think about human psychology, all right, if someone does not value their own life, if they don't see themselves as being valuable, if they don't have a self-esteem that's built on other than external elements, two things happen. One is you don't value other people because you can't see value, and you think, and this happens in a lot of these kind of communities where now the idea of respect, like, it's a different thing. Like, there's a difference between respect and courtesy. Everyone deserves courtesy. Everyone. Upon meeting a person you don't know, be courteous. Yes, you know, be courteous. Respect has to be earned. Now, how someone earns respect, that's based on individual ideas, certain cultural aspects, whatever culture it is. You want to be a Navy SEAL? Well, you got to earn respect the Navy SEAL way. You want to be an NFL football player? You got to learn respect from your teammates. You got to learn how to earn someone's respect. But the other way is but most folks are trained to think respect is obedience or subservience. Respect means I will defer to you. I will accept your opinion over mine. And that's what's happened across the left entire. I mean, it happens with conservatives, but more like if you disagree with my opinion, you're disrespecting me. No, I disagree with your opinion. Well, that's disrespect. So obedience is now conflated with respect. If you're not obedient, if you're not accepting and honoring what I think, do, and say, then you're being disrespectful.
But if you apply it back, somehow it doesn't work.
Well, because it can't. Because that if it's such a codependent view that the world tells me who I am. When you have so little self-knowledge, so little self-respect, and so little self-esteem that you're entirely dependent upon what other people think, do, and say, you now have to dominate and control everything because your identity is built on something you can't control. And if you can't control it, you kill it.
Yeah,
and that's the simple psychology behind it. It's a culture that has emerged through a lot. And it's just you see anytime like in Chicago, all these kids killing each. I mean, I grew up with guys who were shooting each other, and we had a lot of people got shot when I was growing up because we came from a kind of a strange place in Western Mass. But a lot of people got stabbed, a lot of people got shot, a lot of people got dead, and it's always the same thing. It's when someone felt they were being disrespected, but disrespect was you weren't doing what I told you to do. You weren't obeying me. You weren't agreeing with me. And that was intolerable. And the option was either to be, either if I let it go, they now defeat me and I have nothing. So it's controlling the world, trying to hold on and control the world around you. And, you get cultures where that becomes a thing. Like, I can't be disrespected. And it's a lack of education. And education is about personal discipline. If you can't be disciplined enough to sit down and study for an hour and learn something, then you're never going to be disciplined emotionally to deal with the world that disagrees with you. You're going to have to destroy it, which is like, and that's where the beauty of communism and socialism, they just lock right into that shit. Yeah, they're your enemy. They deceive. We're on your side.
We'll tell you what to think.
Yeah. Well, we'll agree with you. We'll get you to think we're on your side, and then we'll slowly guide you. Yeah, he's stealing from you. You should have a brand new car, even though you never worked a day in your life. You should have a brand. You should have. Yeah, he's got this penthouse. You should have one too. He's just stealing all your money. Like they tell lies that reinforce these biases in people already.
Yeah. Hey, Teddy, if you're still on here, we'll see you. Thanks for coming in. It's the world's a mess. But
it's not. The thing is, we're here having a conversation.
It is.
It depends on where we put our attention. If we focus on the mess, we see a mess. Look at the fucking beautiful. Look at the fountains in D.C. right now. It's beautiful there again. I was there when it was a shithole. It's like Trump cleaning up the fountain. He cleaned up. D.C.'s looking good. Well, that's a beautiful thing. If you look
but I mean, that's not going to cover for the fact that when you look around the world, you can definitely notice we're in the book of Revelations. It's up is down, down is up, men are women, women are men.
But also what I see is a resurgence. I see Sweden kicking out the people they get invaded by. We shut our border down. People are starting to see that. All right, you can't mix these cultures. I have no problem with somebody who's a Muslim, but you can't put a Muslim culture inside a free society because it's a different kind of culture. It's a different thing. If it's a small minority, it'll do fine. But if it has any type of power, all those idiosyncrasies from that culture are now going to be like you're not going to assimilate into a Western
it does. That doesn't mix well with America.
Yeah,
it's not compatible.
Any culture that is not in compliance. It's the same thing. It's about compliance. If you don't comply with this culture, once they have the power to have their own power block, now they can induce compliance, and that's part of the culture, and that's fine. But keep your country. Stay in your country. Work it out there. But you bring it here because now it's like now you get to build up your own little force. Now you become your own power here. So the idea is that we've got to be very careful as to what cultures can assimilate.
Yeah, and then you try to turn this into the shithole that you came from.
Well, it's about. I think
it's as simple as that. They come here and they try to turn this into the same shithole they fled.
Yeah, but let's make it less. Let's make it less of a
less like real.
Of a
and the other thing is they come here and they know that they can
scorpions. Scorpions are scorpions. They can't help it. This is a culture, so it's not as if they get together. Hey, let's invade America. It's like, oh, hey. We can go to make money, get fed, and we can have families, and life's easier there. Not understanding the reason life's easier here is because we're not constrained by the same cultural issues that you're leaving. That's not these aren't educated people. They don't see this. They just see it's osmosis. It's just it's science. It's osmosis. They're going to an easier environment, and then it just becomes an extension. That's how cancer works, how osmosis works. I don't want to use cancer. It's just, but it's got to be. It's up to the host nation to say no. Like Poland's doing great. Why? Because they didn't buy into this shit.
Yeah, Poland is doing
Hungary's doing great. Why?
Just real quick, Toby is talking about Muhammad and how Islam is incompatible with humanity. Real quick, Toby, Gabriel is an angel. However, the archangel is Michael. There can only be one archangel, which is sort of, the definition of archangel. It can only be one, and that's Michael. Gabriel's still an angel, but
remember,
Michael's the archangel.
It's not about religion. It's about culture. It's not about religion. It's culture.
But that culture was built off of something. You got to.
But there are many people. There are many Christians who are not blowing up abortion clinics. They're not killing. There are many Christians who are not. So it's got to be culture. It's a culture thing. And when you try to force a culture on a host nation, that's a problem. You can't bring your culture into like if you're a culture, and this has been said about Americans all around the world, where you bring American culture and you change the native land, and we've been vilified that for hundreds of years. Like American culture, we brought American culture to Japan, it did well. We brought American culture to Korea, they're doing well. So American culture brings problems, but also brings a lot of benefit. It's like we have to see this as culture as opposed to, because religion is a very wide spectrum. You can take religion and create anything because it's truth, and you can take it, you can manipulate it and turn it because it's accurate. But it's the culture, how the culture uses the truth to manipulate each other and people around it. And I just think that to start citing the Quran, I've read them both. I read them all. They're very similar books, and I lean towards Christianity, but I understand why there's some good Muslims out there. But at the end of the day, it's a cultural decision. Pakistan is not about the Muslim. It's a culture. It's a culture. That's a culture. India has a culture. The idea that you can lie to somebody to get your way across, that's not part of our culture. But in the Middle East, that's part of the culture. Lying is an essential part of getting what you want. Deception. that's part of a culture.
I don't know. We've sort of grown that culture, that same culture here, though. When it
Oh,
comes to
100%.
deception.
Yeah, we just do it differently. But that's
Yeah, we
again.
do.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people who fight for integrity here. Integrity still is a big fucking authenticity. Integrity still have a
Yeah.
you gravitate towards somebody who has integrity and who's authentic. We still gravitate towards that for the most part, where that's not the case. That's not the case in some of these other cultures. At least from my limited experience.
Yeah. No, I agree. But look, the culture, as far as when it comes to Islam, it does come from a place, and we know about it when you can read in the Bible how, essentially Islam was Muhammad is a descendant of Hagar, who was sort of the servant of Sarah, who was married to Abraham. And that all came about because Sarah was getting impatient with God's promise, which was God promised that even in her advanced age, he would bear her a child. She got impatient, started not to believe in God, ordered her servant to sleep with Abraham in order to produce an offspring. Ultimately, the servant and that offspring were, cast out. And God, as he does, fulfilled his promise to Abraham and to Sarah and gave them a son. And, and that's how it all started. So, you take a culture that comes from that descendant that was not supposed to be, and you can start kind of putting the pieces together as to why all the animosity and why the culture developed as it did.
Yeah, again, there's that and 1,000 more things, but at the end of the day, it's about decision. It's like it really comes down to one thing. Our personal definition has got to be something that's inside of us. It can't be what other people think, do, or say, because that's slavery. If we define ourselves by other people's words, thoughts, and actions, we are now slaves to the world, and that has always been the goal of Christianity. Yeah.
Hold on one second. Yes, I've read the Book of Enoch. I've read all the apocryphal books of the Bible that were originally in there and taken out. I actually have a Bible that has them all in the Bible like it was originally meant, and I also have a book of only the apocryphal books, including Enoch. Enoch is probably my favorite biblical character, even though in the actual Bible he's only mentioned briefly outside of the Book of Enoch itself. Enoch's fascinating. Sorry, Jim. I saw Enoch and I love Enoch.
You hear? Like I said, I'm just dumping the puck in today.
I love Enoch. Like the interesting thing about Enoch is it's in Genesis, and where they discuss him, and they're going through the lineage of Adam and Eve. Going up through like Methuselah and ultimately Noah, right? And so they're the way the Bible describes it, it's like so and so lived so many years and then bore these children, and then they lived so many more years and they died at like 900 and something years old. And it's going through like it's a little monotonous because you're going through like lineage and lineage. There's no story there. It's just saying so and so, and then so and so. Then their son lived so and so years and bore so and so, and then he lived so. And then when it finally gets to Enoch, it's like he lived like I don't remember. It was like very, very short, like 100 years, or like it was very, very short compared to everyone else who was like living to almost 1,000. And it doesn't say he died. It says he lived so and so years, and then God took him. And then the Bible like leaves it at that, and you're like, wait a minute, God took him. He didn't die. It's the only one where that language is used, and it's a little confusing. And then, of course, you find out that books have been removed over the years, and there is the Book of Enoch, and you read it and you really find out like who he was, and he was like highly favored by God, and you get into the more details of it in the Book of Enoch. It's really fascinating. I encourage people to read it. John Kirkhow. I know that name. Do you know that? Do you know who that is, Jim? John Kirk. That's killing me. You're like, I know who he is. I do know who he is, but I'm drawing a blank.
I don't know who that is.
My brain's fried. I had one drink and I'm already.
Yeah.
That's pathetic. I'm a lightweight.
Actually, I've got a 6-pack of Lagunitas in my fridge. So I haven't cracked it. It's been there for weeks.
Well, we've been going for an hour and a half, Jim.
It's time.
It's about time.
It's time. Yeah.
All right.
Good chat with you, my friend. Take care.
Thank you. You too.
It's
time to go eat something.
Yeah, sit tight. We'll do an after show report. Okay. Everybody, I'm out of here. Thanks for coming and saying hello. Thanks. Hope to be back again soon when I feel a little better. And as you say in the big leagues,
my wood is out.